You ever have one of those mornings where your day gets hijacked before you even finish your coffee? Yeah. Let me tell you about the day I met Pam, though. In the neighborhood, folks called her the Cheetah Queen. And you're about to hear why. So picture this. I'm standing on my porch, mug in hand, admiring my brand new, still smells like freedom Class C motorhome, 32 feet of pure possibility, shining in the driveway like a trophy I'd spent years earning. Not even a week old, already stocked for its maiden voyage to the Grand Canyon. And then, bam, out of nowhere, this voice just cuts through the calm, louder than a tornado siren. You people in your ghetto junk. This is a nice neighborhood, not a trailer park. You probably stole it anyway. No hello, no welcome, not even a suspicious peek through the blinds. Just straight up venom first thing. At first I was frozen. It was so out of left field it didn't even feel real. I glanced up. There's a tow truck rumbling into my driveway, yellow lights spinning, and a big dude in overalls is already starting to hook up my RV. For a split second I thought, is this a prank? Did I miss a payment? But no, paid cash, every dime mine. Then I see her, maybe late 60s, helmet of blonde hair, cheetah print jacket over sweatpants, looking like she's ready for war and barking orders at the driver. My heart dropped. My dream, my hard-won dream, was about to get hauled away before I ever got it on the road. I try to stay calm as I step off the porch, coffee forgotten, and ask the driver what's going on. He just shrugs, says, "Lady called it in." Said it was abandoned and blocking her view from across the street. I look at Pam, and that's when she drops the opener. I'll never forget all that you people business. I swear the hate in her voice was radioactive. I felt a mix of rage and exhaustion, hadn't even lived here a month, and already I was you people. The tow guy, he looks at me with this pained, don't shoot the messenger face. He tells me she signed paperwork claiming it's an abandoned nuisance. My job is just to hook it and book it. Take it up with her and the cops. My mind's spinning. How does one angry stranger have the power to swipe my property with a pen? It was like my name on the title. My years of work meant nothing compared to her signature. "Ma'am," I said, doing my best not to shake, "you need to tell this man to unhook my RV right now." She just laughs. A shrill, ugly sound tells me she doesn't have to do anything. Police are on their way to deal with thieves like you. Meanwhile, the driver's just hoping he can get out of here without any drama. Then she leans in with the real poison. "How could someone like you possibly afford something like this? Probably got it with drug money. I know your type. You move into a decent neighborhood, start bringing it down." Every word laced with contempt. She'd written a whole crime drama in her head where I was the villain and reality wasn't about to change her mind. I tried to point out the HOA rules, knew them chapter and verse. RVs can be parked in the driveway for 72 hours. I was on hour 18. But this wasn't about the rules. It was about control, about the fact that a black man could have something she wanted or decided I didn't deserve. Her jealousy was practically shimmering in the air. Right then, a police cruiser glides up, lights off, like they don't want to wake the HOA gods. Two officers get out. One young stiff, looks fresh from the academy. The other older, mustache gut, straining against his shirt, already annoyed and ready for nonsense. Pam's whole act switches. The rage vanishes, and she clutches her chest like she's auditioning for an ambulance commercial. "Thank God you're here, officers. He's been threatening me. Parked this thing in the middle of the night. I was afraid for my life." "You ever get so mad you can't even speak?" That was me. I hadn't raised my voice, hadn't moved toward her. My RV was still being threatened by a tow chain, and I was suddenly the bad guy. Officer Mustache sizes me up, suspicion written all over his face. The young one takes out a notepad, listens as Pam spins her tale, paints me as a threat to the whole peaceful suburban paradise. "That's not what happened. I finally managed. That woman called a tow truck to illegally remove my RV. She started screaming racist insults at me. I haven't threatened anyone." Mustache sighs real deep, real dramatic. "Son, we got a call about a disturbance in an abandoned vehicle. She says you were threatening. You say she was harassing. She said, is this your vehicle?" I nod. "And this is your house." I nod again. He gives me the up and down, asks for ID and registration. Never asked her for a thing. The question alone, like I had to prove I belonged on my own driveway, made my blood boil. I grab my wallet and all my paperwork. Mustache doesn't even glance at it, just eyes me up, asks, "What do you do for a living?" Tone like he's sniffing out a lie. I almost laughed. Same thing Pam wanted to know, just dressed up a little. "I'm a software developer. I own my company. I hand everything to the younger officer." Pam's shrieking. He could have faked all that. Criminals are smart these days, officer. By the book checks, the VIN checks, the papers says. Everything appears to be in order. Finally, a breath of relief. But Mustache still digging. Doesn't mean it's supposed to be here. Pam pounces on that, rattling off about HOA rules and eyesores and property values. I jump in. I know the bylaw. I've got the proof. He cuts me off. Let her speak. Bias so thick it could choke you. But then the young officer finally stands up, says, "Sir, the vehicle's legally registered. It's on his property. If there's an HOA dispute, that's for the HOA to handle. We can't authorize a tow," tells the tow driver to unhook it. The guy looks relieved. He unhooks my RV like it's Christmas morning. Pam looks like she's about to burst a blood vessel. When the tow truck and the police drive away, I'm left standing in silence. Me, my RV, and Pam 30 feet apart, staring at each other like we just started a war. She storms back to her house, slams the door so hard it sounds like a shotgun, and for a second I let myself breathe. I won right wrong. All I did was survive round one. A day later, a neighbor, Mr. Cantina, walks over. Older guy, kind eyes, the type who's seen it all. "Don't mind her," he says. "She's been running this block for 20 years, but calling a tow truck, even for her, that's a new one." For a minute, we just talk RVs and road trips like I'm just a normal neighbor, not the villain of Pam's movie. But I can't shake that feeling like I'm being watched, like I'm still not welcome. Then Friday, a crisp white envelope lands in my mailbox. Oakwood Creek Homeowners Association logo, bold as a threat. Inside, a violation notice, unauthorized parking nuisance vehicle, and the cherry on top, commercial vehicle in a residential zone because my company's registered at my home address and I'm a software developer. Total legal acrobatics crafted just to make my life hell. Pam and her best buddy Gary, the HOA president next door, were coming for me with the bylaws. But I wasn't going down easy. I got out the tape measure, snapped high-res photos, gathered state vehicle codes, built a 10-page packet to dismantle their bogus claims. I even documented Gary's own violations, his fence, his illegal shed, just to show this was a rules for thee, not for me setup. Sent it certified mail, return receipt requested. And then I waited. Nothing. Silence. Psychological warfare. Cool. Mr. Cantina sees me stressed out and says, "They want you to give up. Go to the HOA meeting. Let everyone hear it." So I prepare my speech rehearsed like I'm about to argue in front of Congress. That night I face the board, Gary, 2 board members, and Pam in the front row smirking with her knitting. I lay out every fact, every bylaw, every photo. When Pam finally cracks and shouts, "He's one of them, turning our neighborhood into a slum," the mask drops her ugly truth out for all to hear. Mr. Cantina stands up, calls out the vendetta, the racism, the whole show. The board folds. Violation withdrawn. For a minute, it feels like victory. But I see Pam's face, pure, cold humiliation, and I know the real battle just started. Next, it's war by 1,000 cuts, trash on my lawn, missing newspapers, fake animal control calls. I install cameras, 4 of them covering every inch. Finally, one rainy night, the cameras catch her in all her cheetah print glory, slashing my RV's tires with a nail. The next morning, I call the cops, this time with hard proof. Officer by the book returns, sees the video, asks, "You want to press charges?" "Oh, you bet." Pam gets arrested. Walk of shame, neighbors watching. Still, I'm not done. I hire a lawyer, file for a restraining order and a civil suit, cost of tire security system, legal fees, and punitive damages. News spreads, neighbors start sharing their own Pam stories. Turns out she's been bullying everyone for years. But now with the truth out and her reputation torched, even her cronies keep their distance. The block starts to feel like a community again. For the first time, people wave, bring cookies, thank me for standing up. The legal process drags, but eventually at deposition, my lawyer plays the video of Pam slashing my tires. She confesses under oath. Her lawyer tries to settle, eventually offers the cost of everything plus $25,000, a forced apology, and a permanent restraining order. We take it. The judge hits her with probation, community service, and anger management. But the real victory for sale sign on Pam's lawn. Watching her move out, shunned and dethroned, was pure satisfaction. 3 months after that first showdown, I finally get to take my RV, my dream on the open road, waving to Mr. Cantina as I leave. I fought for my home, my peace, and my dignity, and I won. But let me ask you, how far would you go to stand your ground? Have you ever had to fight back against a bully like Pam? Drop your own story? Or just tell me, what does justice look like to you?